I'm Joey.
And I'm Tomas. And this is the New
Sia
podcast. All right, so it has been a minute. We first 3 weeks we posted 3 videos every week. We did a good job with that. And then life just kind of got busy. College athletes, school, we prioritized that. But I don't see that as a bad thing right now. I think this is going to be a good opportunity just to talk about what's happened since the last episode, what's new. And this week's topic will just kind of be about Lent and how Lent's going for you and I. And let's get right into it. So I'll start us out. For me, at the beginning of Lent, I remember I was supposed to do Exodus 40. Mm-hmm. And along with Exodus 40, I was going to do Lenten, a Magnificat, a prayer devotional every day during Lent. Mm-hmm. What else did I say I was going to do? So I'll get into what's in Exodus 40. So basically part of Exodus 40 is no sugars, going to Mass one time during the weekdays, and cold showers, along with at least 10 minutes of prayer a day. So out of all those, I actually from now and then, the only one I have not been able to fulfill was that cold shower one. I did that thing for a week, and I was like, this is just too much. This is so much. And then I started to feel bad, and then I'm just like, well, let me just keep doing good in the things I am doing. I can still keep away from sugars, or a restricted amount. I do believe there's an appropriate amount of intake. Sugar is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but if it's something I'm giving up, and along with all the distance running I'm doing, I don't find it too guilty if I, drink some lemonade or something, just one glass, just to, replenish.
Runners, we need those.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah, and there's a part of me that feels when I cut all sugars out completely, it's just I'm.
You feel like a zombie.
I do. I'm not. I feel like I'm not. I feel like I do need. I'm replacing what I lost, but I'm not going beyond that. So that's one that's a little gray area for me, but. I'll say the cold showers is the one where I'm just okay, I'm completely failing at this. I just kind of mailed it in. I did it for a week, and I'm just this is miserable. And it is. But I'm still reading my Magnificat every single day. There's little penances at the end of each reading, and it's really good. It's helped me a lot. It's going, like I said, it's going well. But, I always say this, Lent is my favorite time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year because I look at it as an opportunity to grow, which that's what it is. You're getting closer to Jesus. And it's just a beautiful time. And sometimes, there's great things that are going on outside of I just love the time of the year. Now we are having snow today, which I was not a big fan of. I was just I walked out, I'm just
Michigan weather.
I'm just you got what we had two false springs probably. I think we've had 2. I think
2, yeah.
And it's just
one real one.
Every year it's the same thing. I don't know how we do this to ourselves.
We
oh my god, yeah. But we know it's coming every year. So why do we? I don't understand why I can't say oh, it's a false spring. No, I genuinely think it's done. Yeah, it's that darn groundhog. It's
I swear.
That's what my brother says.
I saw the sun last week during that false spring. That was the last time I've seen it since then.
Yeah, 50 degrees felt like 70.
It was.
There
60.
was a day over.
It was over 60.
Yeah, there was a day over spring break. Actually, I was running my shirt off. It was
Me too.
hot. It was. Yes. No, I'm not telling. I was getting a tan. Yes. It was one day. I forget.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh wait, I think it was Monday for me because I was doing a workout, and I'm doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it doesn't matter. Just the point is,
it was
so
Tuesday.
Nice, so nice.
And then it literally the sun was out for that day, and then it went away, and it's been in hiding.
Yeah,
I swear, because we haven't hardly seen it. It's just been rain and snow, rain and snow, rain and snow.
What else was I was gonna say? But yeah, just the time of the year is I enjoy the time of the year, but along with I like Lent, I like Advent as well. Because it's not ordinary time. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just
it's ordinary.
It is ordinary, but pondering on the life of Jesus on these 40 days of just look at the days where everything leading up from the agony in the garden, the scourging at the pillar, the crowning of thorns, the carrying of the cross, and then finally like just the crucifixion.
That's
and
some rosary ball knowledge.
Oh yeah, and you look at that, and you're just like, I love reflect. I mean, for me, I love the sorrowful mystery. And it's during men's group, the men's group leader always said, like, there's a rosary we pray before men's group. It's like 45 minutes before, and during Lent he's like, okay, we're doing sorrowful again. And I think that men's group here is on Thursdays. Luminous is the mystery for Thursdays, but he does sorrowful because it's Lent, and I really love that. And I love just pondering on that mystery where it's like, what crosses am I carrying this Lent? Because we do have them. Everyone has their own crosses that we need to pick up proudly, and sometimes it's like we're not just picking it up. It's like, God, like you're carrying my crosses too. Like you're walking with me, and I feel like that's another great thing about Lent, where it's another opportunity to say like, okay, even God, even Jesus was like in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, right? Like, am I wrong there? Like,
yeah.
It was the agony in the garden. He's agonizing over like,
he knows what's coming.
This is my fate. He knows it's coming. And I don't have to deal with that. But there's a part of me that's like, okay, where's an aspect of my life where it's like, I can do better there. And I look at that aspect and I'm like, okay, how can I do better here? And there is a sense, in my opinion, for what I experienced, there is a sense of suffering. Maybe it's a small amount. It could be a big amount to some of us, but I look into that and I feel like I could freely just comfortably like enter into that because it's like, okay, Jesus did that. But another thing I like to say about Lent is like, if back to like me not doing well with the cold showers, and I look at it as an opportunity where it's like, okay, don't just be like, oh, I screwed all of Lent. Like, God's so disappointed in me. Like, he did all these things. Like, he died on the cross for all of us, and he would have done it for us individually. I mean, he did do it for us individually. But if we were the only ones if I was the only guy in the world, he still would have died on that cross. And it's like, you could be like, well, he did this, and it's like, I can't even take a cold shower. It's like, I wouldn't fall. I'd try to stay away from that. I'd look more at it like, okay, let's take advantage of this next opportunity, though. Like, it's never too late. If there's 1 week left, I think we have 3 weeks left of Lent. And let's take advantage of this 3 weeks. Let's jump back on the ship and do it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and now I kind of want to talk about some spring break stuff. So I'm trying not to exaggerate, but I feel that I've grown a lot in the span of a week. I don't want to act like oh my gosh, like I did all like
you got that. No, I mean, it happens.
Solve world peace or anything, but
yeah.
I did grow a lot over spring break. I had a perspective change, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually excited to talk about this. So, I got home. I left Friday. So we were gone for like 9 days. I was gone for 9 days.
Where were you at?
I just went back home.
Oh, okay.
Back in Lansing, and I just stayed with my parents. My brother came in town. He's out in Illinois, so it was nice to see him. And it was just the four of us, just living at home. But it was a good time to reflect because when I was the first half of the second semester, it was like school. You think differently when you have so much stuff to do, and
very true.
And you have so much on your plate. Then it was nice because it's like you take those midterms and it settles down. Like, the waves calm down a little bit. And now I was at home. I was like, okay, this is relaxing. Well, here's the thing. This is the biggest blessing in disguise. I forgot my I forgot my Xbox controller. It was the biggest blessing in disguise. I kid you not. I always just, I want to say, I'll say rot at home in a way. Like, I still keep up my prayer life, I would say, fairly well. I still make an effort every break to, go to like 2 or 3 adorations, pray every day, stay consistent with that. I do a good job in that. But then everything else outside of that just falls apart where it's like, okay, I'm spending too much time on the Xbox. I was so, like, I forgot it and I wasn't like, dang it. Maybe I was at first, but then I was like, you know what, like, Tomas, like, what are we going to do here? What opportunity are we going to make out of this? And I was thinking, I was like, well, I've been, kind of learning the piano. I got a keyboard at home. Like, let's get the dust off that thing and start practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I practice every single day on it over spring break, and I wish I just learned like 1 or 2 songs fully instead of learning 8 songs halfway through. But that might just be the ADHD.
That's music.
in me.
That's learning.
Yeah,
music.
exactly. And that was enjoyable. And then even in the last like 4 days of spring break, I picked up another hobby. Then I know I probably mentioned this a lot today, but I'm really excited about it. It's just poetry.
You did not tell me about
I
this.
guess I didn't. Maybe I didn't tell you, but I mentioned
No.
a lot of guys I practice like, oh, how's your spring break? And I
Yeah.
don't want to just give the, oh, it was good. Like, if I think it was actually really good, I'm going to tell you about it, whether you want to hear it or not. You did ask.
No, I love poetry.
Yeah, okay, that's sweet then. That's
Yeah.
sweet. Maybe I'll have you read some of them. Maybe I could read one on here when I'm
No, yeah,
proud to
100%.
present it. When I'm
Yeah.
proud to present
Yeah.
it. So I was actually sitting in adoration. There's a perpetual adoration chapel 15 minutes away from me. I went there. I had a lot on my mind. I was very, relaxed over spring break, but then I was like, okay, how do I want to enter into the second half of the second semester?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to adoration, and I was just in there, and then it dawned on me, like, by the way, I'm a huge, like, Doors fan. They're like a late 1960s band. They have a singer named Jim Morrison. His lyrics are very poetic. He's I won't speak too much about him as a person in his life, but he is very poetic, and I think I was kind of inspired by like how he, makes you think differently, puts you in a different place perspective. I'm a big fan, and a lot of people know that. But so that was kind of the inspiration. I was sitting in adoration. I was like, you know what? Maybe I could like write some stuff and put religious topics against it on it. And there I was. Like I started making one, put a title on it. And then I got like 80% done, and then I thought of like, oh wait, but maybe I could do a poem on this topic of religion or this one, and then all of a sudden I have like my notes app. I have like 8 poems that are like 60 to 80% done, but like not actually, but you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
So it was just fun, like just feeling all the dots connect. It's a good way of using like creative thinking. Another thing that I did were rosary walks. Now, obviously, I mentioned on here I've been praying a daily rosary. I've still kept up with that, so praise the Lord. Pray for me that I could keep doing that. It's had a huge impact on my life, and even that sounds like an understatement. It has just completely turned everything the way I couldn't even imagine. Just a great thing that I was able to do, and pray for me that I could keep up with it. But 2 or 3 days over spring break, I went on rosary rocks, and those were so like, therapeutic in a way where it's like this is nice. I'm outside, I'm breathing fresh air, I'm praying, I'm inviting the Lord into this, and it was awesome. So, and one more thing. A few more things. I'm reading Our Lady of Fatima. You've been to Fatima.
I have been
It's
to
a book
Fatima.
I'm reading, Our Lady of Fatima. I'm on 3 nights in a row reading it.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing I picked up over spring break. So I'm just blessed that I was able to not just find a way to find a controller and actually just find a way to like pick up new things.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm hoping that I can continue with it as best as I can, considering now I'm back into school and running.
Mm-hmm.
I also, this will be the last thing. I also had dinner with one of my high school friends I have not seen. I've seen him. We kind of reunited last year on a retreat that we saw each other on. But I invited him to dinner. It was just on my heart. I was like, I want to see how this guy's doing. He is doing so awesome. Like, it was the coolest thing ever. Like, I haven't been in class with him in 3 years. He's telling me, like, yeah, like, I'm on track to finish my associates. He's telling me, like, he was discerning seminary.
Wow.
And then he told me, like, I have to thank you and another one of my friends in high school. He said, I wanted to thank the both of you guys. And he wasn't there. But he was just telling me, like, if you guys weren't so open about your faith, he was just like, there's no guarantee I'd be here sitting across the table from you right now. And I was so thankful. But, I told him, I was like, I'm just thankful that you took that opportunity and, like, you decided that, like, you wanted this for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, you know what? Thank you for telling me that, because that meant a lot.
Yeah.
And that was my spring break. And, just those are some of my thoughts on Lent. And I don't know if anything else to say about what I had to say, but I would love to hear from you. So.
Yeah. Well, the last couple weeks have definitely been It's been a lot. It's been busy. It's been a lock-in season for me. So before Lent, I had decided that I wanted to give up my phone for the first 30 minutes of the day. I couldn't decide what I wanted to give up until literally like the day before Lent. I had been thinking so much. I'd been asking everyone, like, I don't know what to give up because I don't know why I was having so much difficulty with it, but it's like I couldn't think of the best, right? I couldn't think of like something that would actually benefit me that I could give up. So I don't think I might have mentioned it on here yet. But yeah, I ended up giving up my phone for the first 30 minutes of the day because I noticed every single morning I look at my phone, and I do just a little bit of scrolling. All right, I get my little dopamine fill for the morning, and it gives me enough energy to get out of bed and get into the shower. Which, admittedly, at the beginning I thought, oh, this is going to be the easiest Lent ever, right? Because I gave up that, and then I went actually in a confession. Part of my penance was to add on to my Lent and have it be give up my phone also in like if I'm walking in between buildings on campus, which to anybody not in college that might sound, oh, that's pretty easy. For me personally, I realized I do that a lot more than I would like to, right? So I gave up, and then I wanted to try to add in a daily rosary.
That's right, I remember that one.
Yeah, and so, man, I tell you what, for me, the hardest thing has been not doing my phone every 30 minutes. It makes getting out of bed so difficult for me. Like, honestly. Like, call me weak. Call me whatever you want. Like, it's been so hard because I have to make a conscious effort. You know what I mean? I try to set my alarms on my watch, or I try to, you know what I mean? But it's like, I'll just find myself habitually kind of just going for it, and then I'll go to unlock it, and I'll be like, no, I can't. It's Lent, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to get down where that's the habit, that's the ritual, is where I don't do my phone in the morning and I can just get out of bed.
And those good habits become virtuous. We talked about that.
Yes, yep. So I'm still just trying to push through. I'm trying to get, but still, I don't know how many days into Lent we are, but I'm still feeling it's been difficult for me. The one that I have had trouble with is the daily rosary. I have not been able to keep up with my daily rosary. I tried. I had it pretty good for a decent amount of time, but I don't really know what happened. I think I went home for spring break.
So you probably had 3 weeks then.
Probably, yeah, it was a good amount of time.
Spring break. Okay.
I went home for spring break, and it just, the habit was, I do it in the chapel. I do it usually when I'm walking back from the moose or from the library. I'll just stop in there and I'll pray it. But not having that kind of got rid of the reminder almost for me. So I'll hopefully pick it up this week, and then when I go home over the summer, I'll be able to kind of turn that back on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still trying for it, but at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect.
Yeah. I would say my best advice for that though, some of my friends, I was talking this to some of my other friends on campus, and like, I actually agree with you. I think there was one day, now I can't remember honestly, but I think there was one day where I didn't pray that's right. There was one day I didn't pray the rosary over spring break. Maybe it was like the third day, for whatever reason, and that was the second day within the last 9 weeks where I started whatever, where I didn't do it. That was only the second time, but I told myself, it's like, oh no, like the streak's over. It's not about the streak. No, but you know what I did though? I did pray 2 the next day. I prayed 1 in the AM and 1 in the PM, or maybe 1 on my walk and then another one before I went to bed. Or another thing, I think you kind of mentioned this. I mean, I think I personally found out, and I prefer just to do it all in one sitting. But you could also do I think you mentioned a decade here, a decade there, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. No, and then. So I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm just, I try my best. I'll get in the habit eventually. And I'll be able to wake up and not want to grab my phone first thing.
Yeah, another perspective that I like for me at least, because I feel like there are times where I could waste my time. I think we all can, but the way I look at the rosary, I'm sacrificing, I I could tell myself, it's 20 minutes. Like, I don't want to do that. I would rather do something else, right? I could pray like really quickly or something. Or the way I look at it is that you're sacrificing 20 minutes for a day's worth of like joy. But on the contrary, it's like by not doing it, you're wasting the whole day. That's my opinion.
That's true,
The way I think, I notice the rosary really locks me in.
Mm-hmm.
And, but yeah, that's my opinion. But that's not,
Yeah, no, I love it though. So, and then flipping to the positive side then.
Yeah.
This is something I don't want to say proud, but I'm I guess, number one, grateful. I think I've definitely talked about my past history with injuries on this channel when it comes to running. And I've been very thankful I've been able to put in a good amount of miles for, like, in my opinion, you know what I mean?
No, but you are though.
So my goal, this whole, since I started running almost this year, right? Since I really started learning what weekly mileage is, and what the structure of a running plan is, I've been like, I really want to be able to do 40 miles in a week. That's been my goal. I wanted 40 miles in a week consistently, right? And so I would work, and I found myself, just to recap a little bit I had to start really small. I had to start at half a mile a week and go 10%. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then eventually I made it up to 25. Okay, and 25 at the time, this was in the fall, like beginning of winter. 25 I was very proud of that, which, I mean, from a distance runner's point of view, that's nothing, right? And so, I mean, it's not nothing, but you know what I mean. So then I moved it up a little bit to 30, and then for all of indoor, I hovered around 25 to 30. That was kind of where I was at for indoor. And then I decided, okay, actually, you told me that I should be getting my highest mileage in between outdoor season and indoor season. So I was like, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's see how my body feels. So I gave myself one down week, our last week of indoor track. I said, all right, I'm going to take this week and I'm going to run a little bit less mileage and just let my body like fully recoup from everything, okay? So I ran a little bit of a down week that week, and then I hopped up to 35 miles. My legs are feeling good, 35, all right. That at the time, that was the highest I'd ever done, which it honestly, like, was not smart to probably jump up that much mileage, but I was, my legs are feeling fine.
You gotta take like a calculated risk.
Yeah, it's a calculated risk, because I only have 6 weeks in between seasons, so I was like, you know what, let's go for it. Let's just see what my body does, right? And it kept on feeling good throughout the week, so I was like, okay, 35 is manageable. Then I finally bumped it up to 40 2 weeks ago. I hit that 40 threshold. I hit that number. I saw it on my Strava, and I was like, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing because I've worked so hard. There's so much that went into that. And so I was really happy that I was able to hit 40 weeks last week. Yesterday hit another 40 weeks again, and I'm working on it this week. So I've been really, really happy. My running has been going excellent. I'm still sticking with, I've been wanting to be in the gym 5 days a week, which I've still been able to do. And so yeah, like that's going great. And then spring break for me was, of course, a lot of running, right? What's new. And then also it was, for me, a lot of family time.
That's good.
Which was great. And so I thought that it was really funny, I guess maybe not funny, but interesting how you're talking about with your Xbox, right? With how that kind of, how the way everyone uses things differently. And so I thought it was very cool how you said that, like, it can distract you from things, and how not using it gave you the opportunity to pick up so many new hobbies.
Yeah.
Okay. For me and my brother and my cousin and like
I know that.
We play Xbox, right? And so for me, I didn't notice, like, it's not that it's necessarily something that where it's like it's holding me back or anything, but it's just like it's so awesome that we can bond in that way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's I'm glad you understand. That's not what I was saying.
Yeah, no,
for me, I was just like,
no, I didn't. Like I said, people use things differently. Like I totally understand.
I'm
like,
glad you see it. Yeah,
everyone has slipped into that where maybe playing video games becomes like a crutch where it's like literally holding you back.
But that's seriously what it was. I was like, I got nothing to do. I'll just play video game. I'm bored. I'll play video. But it's like I'm still actually bored while I'm on there.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's just something
That's why,
to do.
like, whenever me and my family, we use it, it's a social tool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
and it definitely can be.
And so me and my brother were bonding. Me and my cousin were bonding. Me and, whoever, like, it was honestly amazing for me to be able to set time aside each.
And that's kind of a big deal. Like you were in the same house with your brother. Now you're here.
Mm-hmm.
He's there,
Mm-hmm.
and
so that's kind of how we can stay connected, is through that. Which again, I feel super blessed for. I'm super thankful for. And so it was nice to be able to play side by side with him, right? To kind of relive the glory days.
Yeah.
It was awesome to be able to watch TV shows with my parents, or to be able to man, I don't even like it. It was just a great break. You know what I mean?
That's good.
It was awesome to be able to run to my mom's work and say hi to her while
I saw that in
working.
the shop. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it was awesome. So I loved it. And like I said, it was, for me, it was all about family, which is, I mean, that's
And
life.
I have a few things that just sparked in my mind.
Yeah.
One of them is kind of funny. I'll actually say the quick one. Another thing about family, I got lunch with my grandparents,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's always so special. Like being able to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
that was another thing I got to do. But oh my gosh, when you were talking about connecting with your brother, so my brother's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
So when he was at his college and I was still in high school, or when I was still at home for community college and he was getting his master's,
Mm-hmm.
like I was like, okay, this guy's still my brother, but I was like, oh, I could connect to him on like the video game. I get so mad. Like we play like 2K, and I'm like, I think I'm pretty good at the game. Again, I haven't played that game in over a year. For me, praise be to God, because that game did not make me the best version of myself. I'll be sitting there, I'm like, Mike, what are you doing? Like, pass the ball. I have 38 points. You have nothing. And I'm just like, and then I get off. I put the mic down. I'm like,
and you feel bad.
why did I yell at my beloved brother over
Yeah.
nothing? Over nothing.
Yep.
It's nothing. Here's the other best part. My mom, I was like, hey, did you bring I saw your Xbox is upstairs. Are you going to bring it back?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no. I was like, no, this is the best week of my life. I'm not bringing that thing back. But here's the funny thing. I actually don't play it. When I had it here on campus, I did not play it. There was a 2-week stretch in the first semester where I was like addicted to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had to actually realize there's other things on campus that I enjoy doing more, so I never ended up doing it.
Yep.
But at home, it was like, that's the thing that I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, my mom's like, are you not going to bring it back? I'm like, well, are you going to be able to watch TV on it? I'm like, no, I'll just watch it on my laptop. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, and I don't even watch TV. I literally just watch like sports, like my favorite sports teams. And that takes like maybe like 2 to 4 hours in my week, which is like fine. Like if you got something to like, that's fun, you know.
It's filler time.
Yeah, and it's fine. And there's nothing wrong or feel guilty about that.
It's like it's hard to find time.
But I'm glad you're not like, what do you do? Like I would know. I get it. Everyone can be a little like angry, but like no, I would be like, and I was like that for years.
Yeah.
And I knew it was bad for me, but it's like, but now it was. I think
gotta
I just
love
knew,
your brothers though. Willing
No,
to
I know. I was
take
just
that
like,
and just
this is my time to just step forward and never look back. And again, that's for me. For you, it's a lot different. And I'm sure you have something.
Well, I mean, that's everyone. Like,
Well, my brother and I
different
bond
needs.
over golf. That is what connects us. Over the summer, we'll walk 9. We'll play 18 on the cart, something like that. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was
I am
able
good
to.
I try.
That was, speaking of, I got to I know like a big part of going home for spring break, which I always think is kind of it's kind of a magical time, right? Because you have these people you go to high school with, which like you've grown up together. Like even if you weren't best of friends with them, you grew up together. You know what I mean? Like 12
You've
years
always
of your
been there.
life. Yeah, 12 years of your life, you've been seeing the same face. You know what I mean? And so I love going back to break. One of my favorite things is just bumping into people from high. Like it hasn't even been a year since I graduated.
But it feels that way.
Yeah, but it feels like so much has changed. You know what I mean? And it's so fun just to like kind of catch up and see how people are doing. Or just to, like you said, how you reached out with your buddy and you went and had a dinner. It's awesome to just be able to like go reach out to your friends who are also on break and be like, yo, you want to go hang out? Because for me, I love climbing, right? Like I love climbing, and so back home I spend quite a lot of time in the climbing gym. I actually got Isaac and Alex. We're trying to start a climbing club here. I just got them to come down to Kalamazoo. Well, Alex lives there, but I got Isaac to drive down, so we got to do some climb Kalamazoo. which was awesome. And then I got to climb with some of my friends that I guess one of my friends, but see a lot of familiar faces at Climb Kalamazoo, and it's awesome, getting to connect with people and getting to see the people that you haven't gotten to see in so long. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually want to backtrack to something you said earlier. When you're just talking, I just want to say, when you're talking about your mileage, I'm so, the way you're talking, I'm so glad you were just proud about, I ran 40 miles, and that's a big deal. And then you do know it's but to a distance runner, that's nothing. But
it's relative.
But yeah, that's the thing. I'm glad you wear it like that. Where it's I had my freshman year at LCC, our team captain at the time. He told me something that stuck with there's certain things that just stick with you for whatever reason. He said, "Comparison is the thief of joy."
100%.
And I loved it when he said that, because then it's everyone wants everyone else to do the best, and everyone wants that for them too. At least that's how I think. Maybe not everyone, but I think on our team, I think that is the case. I do. But it's let's say I run some crazy PR, and it's but so and so ran that. It's there's always gonna be someone out there better. It's just not. Better. It's just think about from where you were here, and now look where you are now. That's what matters. That growth. And it's if you can be good at something like that, you'll be good at a lot of other things in life. So.
Oh yeah. No, that's something my mom always says. Comparison is the thief of joy. I've kind of grown up with around that saying, which is, it's a mentality. It is one of the hardest things though when you slip into that comparison, right? You're comparing yourself with others. It's pretty difficult to kind of pull yourself out of that once you get into it. So, it's just like injuries. The best thing is just to prevent it from happening in the first place, But yeah, no. Well, I just did 40 miles last week or 2 weeks ago last week, and then hopefully I'm just gonna keep on.
Yeah.
Keeping on.
Yeah, no.
What are your goals for outdoor tracks? I mean, we have just about 3 weeks until outdoors, so we'll probably dive a little bit deeper into it later, but I'm just a little bit curious.
Well, I won't share any time goals, not because I don't want people to know, but I do believe, I have a great coach now, I have 2 great coaches now, and I had 2 great coaches at LCC, but they told me something, and I believe this to be true, and you can take this away. It is not just sports goals, anything goals you have in life. I actually believe you should keep them to yourself to a certain extent. And I've noticed when I did that, I actually achieved them, and then some.
Really?
Opposed to times where I just told everyone what I wanted to do. There's nothing wrong with that. But I will tell you other goals that are not time related.
Yeah.
Well, I want to be able to indoor. I would say I didn't have the best attitude, not towards anyone else, but towards myself and my races. I'm just this is I know I'm capable of better, and I did put the work in for it, and I didn't feel that it showed. But now I'm on another training plan. And I'm, the coaches think I'll be. They're training me towards the 5K and 10K. So, just to do well in those, but also just I want to be able to truly finish a bad race and say, just find something positive out of it. Not I don't even want to spend anything more than 5 minutes of just unhappiness. I don't want to spend anything more than that. I think there's an appropriate amount of venting, but after that it's just dude, did you give it your all? And the answer for me is always yes.
Yes.
Then it's okay, then let's just keep going. So that is actually above the time goals. That is my number one goal, anyways. Is just to be able to cross the line, and whether that time looks beautiful or not, it's I gave it all I got.
Yep.
But how about you?
I love it. Well, of course, my goal is I want to run the 800. I don't know what coach will put me in, but I've kind of been training towards the 800 because I had a really good race, really good, right, for me. A really good race during indoor.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Coach Woj seemed pretty stoked about it. So I'm hoping I'm going to be running the outdoor 800. And so my goals have just been mileage wise. I want to hopefully hover towards stay around 40. And then I'm going to, of course we still have 3 weeks, so I'm going to kind of see how I'm feeling when the time gets closer, if I want to drop it, if I want to keep it the same. We'll see. And then I'm going to just, for the rest of this training block, I really, really want to stay in the gym and stay kind of just conditioned the best I can. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I just want to see how much time I can cut off
Yeah, that's
in a year. Because so last year my 800 time was 2:31. And I just ran 2:11 indoor as my first one, and so it's
20 seconds in that short of a race is just like dang.
yeah. But I mean, that's what happens when you're on a good
Yeah.
training plan, when you have good teammates, when you have
Good coaches.
when you're not injured.
Just
Like
the
praise the
community.
Lord.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. The goal is just to see what I can do. Let's get a benchmark.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think just to kind of recap some things. We talked about Lent at the beginning, and then just kind of we were catching up with you guys on how we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if maybe you're not happy about how Lent's going for you, just remember, like, put all that aside and be like, all right, let's start today. Like, Lent starts today for me, and we'll take it to Easter. And you know what's really beautiful? It's like, you might know this. How after Easter Day, how long do we spend celebrating Easter again? It's not. We know as Catholic, it's not just the day of Easter.
We as Catholics, we like to party.
Yeah, we celebrate Easter. It's another time period.
I should know, but I don't know.
So, I just want to make something up, like a week or two, or a 12-day, something like that. But the point being is, you could always start again.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shame in that. Just keep going, and then you could celebrate that through the time of Easter, knowing that you did that. So,
and again, if you're personally, I believe that for Lent you should be setting goals that you're reaching for them, right? So I think that if it's something that is actually difficult, like if you haven't been able to keep up with what you were doing, that's a good sign.
And that's the thing. He doesn't call us to just do the most like soft. We're not supposed to be like completely miserable. It's just supposed to. It's supposed to be something like you said, you could say hearing you on no phone for the first 30 minutes. You'd be like, yeah, I'm sure at the time that did sound easy, but it's like,
but it's hard.
But it's hard. But
yes.
It's hard. He's not. It's not like okay. I mean, I know there's some people. I have a friend that actually did this once. He said he only ate one meal every day of Lent.
That's what my dad's doing.
But like he did it,
yeah,
and it was just but I could never do it.
Him.
And that's
yeah, but it's
like it looks different to other people, and that's fine. Like just fix something. Maybe it's no reels or something. Just something. Like it doesn't have to be like. And I think that's why a lot of people pick last second. Like, and I was kind of, sort of in that boat.
Oh, I was.
But it's just because I think people want to pick the most treacherous thing. It's like, no, that's not what it is, Bo. So, but Joey's going to close us off in some scripture.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull it up real quick. So, I was thinking, okay, it's Lent, right? Let's choose Matthew 10:22. I think it's a great Bible verse, and especially if you're struggling with something in Lent, or if you're not struggling, just any Catholic, really, or Christian, whatever. Here's what it is. Matthew 10:22. You will be hated by all because of my name, but whoever endures to the end will be saved.
Love it. All right. That caps our episode off.
Yeah. Have a great week. Peace.